All right, guys. Happy Monday. I miss you guys, so we'll be back soon. We're going to start with our warm up for the day. It's going to be a Pythagorean theorem type of question. We haven't looked at this in a minute, but I'm confident that you guys will be able to get the right answer. We have our handy dandy formula: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay. We have your triangle. C is always opposite of the right angle. Please take about 3 minutes to try to complete this problem. Please submit your answer on the Google form warm up posted on Schoology. So you will need your Chromebook to get credit for the warm up today. We won't be doing it on paper. We're going to submit it on your computer. Take about 3 minutes and then we'll get started with our lesson. All right, would you rather today you are able to create your own? I figure, why not? Mix it up a little bit. It's 2022. We got to mix it up. Okay. So, option one, option two, you have a few options here. You can use text boxes to write in a couple options for would you rather. You can draw pictures if you're a drawer, if you feel confident with your Chromebook. I know it's hard to draw with the Chromebook. You can't upload any pictures from Google onto here, unfortunately, but some of the best ideas I'm definitely going to give y'all shout outs and use them in the future. So you'll be able to keep an eye out on our warm ups from here on out and see if yours pops up. Take a few minutes on this and then we'll get started with our lesson to kick off our unit. Dilations. Today, I will be able to identify a scale factor that enlarges or reduces the size of a shape. All right, and as you can see, this L is getting bigger, getting smaller. We're going to learn what word means what, bigger, smaller. How is my shape changing on the coordinate grid? Okay, enlargement. Let me put my face right here. Enlargement, notice that the word large is highlighted. That's because an enlargement makes a image from small to big. It makes it bigger. Enlargement. If I go out to eat at McDonald's every single day, I am going to get enlarged, right? Pre-image is the image that you start with. The image, notice how there's this little apostrophe after the E in image. That little apostrophe is your indicator that that is the image that you end with. Pre-image is what you start with. Image with the little apostrophe is the image that you end with. Okay. Now, this means that there's a scale factor greater than 1. Scale factor is what we refer to as the number that we are multiplying by. All right. So if I take this pre-image and I say, let me multiply him by 2, he's going to be twice as big now. That's a scale factor greater than 1. Anything greater than 1 is going to make a pre-image larger. Anything less than 1 that we multiply by, for example, let's say Mr. Lessard wants to get half of his size. If I'm multiplying times 1/2, I'm getting smaller. So we got this little flower with a nice little smile, right? Pre-image, a reduction is when we make something smaller. So pre-image is what we started with. Image with the apostrophe is what we end with. Scale factor less than 1 because I got smaller. It's a reduction. Congruent. We've seen this word before. Congruent means the same size. Now, as you can see, this little, I don't know what you call it, pink, fuzzy little monster thing is the same size. It's congruent. That means the scale factor equal to 1. If I times my own weight by 1, I don't change at all. Whenever I multiply something times 1, it does not change. That means it is congruent. All right. Moving on. What type of dilation is shown below? Go ahead and take a minute on your Chromebook to answer this question. You can go ahead and pause this video until you've answered it, and then we'll move on. All right, next up, go ahead and try to answer this one. Which type of dilation is shown below? Please submit your answer on your Chromebook. All right, let's go over the last two. This one was a reduction. We started with our pre-image, and our image with the little apostrophe is what we end with. It looks like our shape got way smaller, so that's a reduction. Next one. This one, however, dang, I'm really bad with this eraser, my bad. So pre-image, notice that we flipped around the order here. It says image first and then pre-image. We always start with the pre-image, right? So pre-image looks smaller than the image, which means the image that we started with was small. We had to enlarge it for it to become bigger. So this little pig in the mug is now an enlargement because we started with this one and it got bigger to get to the image. Next up, go ahead and take about 30 seconds. Try to answer this one on your own on your Chromebook. All right, and we started with our pre-image. Started here, right? And then to get here, looks like our image got smaller, so that was a reduction. All right, next up. Let's check this one out. 30 seconds on your own on your Chromebook, please. And our final answer on this, it is congruent. Little alien looking dude. Got some angry fists, apparently. Did not change size at all. That's congruent. Okay. Remember, always find the pre-image first and then go to the image with the apostrophe on it. Gets bigger means it has a scale factor larger than 1 or greater than 1. Reduction means that it has a scale factor less than 1. Which statement is correct about the dilations shown below? Go ahead and answer this one on your own. Take about 30 seconds. And if we start with our pre-image, we always start with pre-image. It looks like our image got larger, which means that it was a enlargement. And then as the statement says, an enlargement has a scale factor greater than 1. So we must have multiplied this little dinosaur looking thing times a number greater than 1 for it to have gotten bigger like that. All right, moving on to this one. Take about 30 seconds and answer this on your Chromebook. All right, the hungry worm with his tongue out and his utensils in his hand. That knife looks very sharp. The pre-image was the bigger one. Notice that we didn't always start with the one on the left. We always start with the pre-image. So I'm looking at this, going to this. Looks like our image got a lot smaller. When our image gets smaller, that means it was a reduction. So scale factor would be less than 1. All right, which statement is correct about the dilation shown below? We have 4 options here, okay. Pre-image to image. Before I go over it, let's try 30 seconds on our own and circle the answer that you think is correct. All right, our pre-image looked to be this one right here, right? And we went to here. Our image definitely got smaller. So I immediately know that this was a reduction. So I'm either choosing green or cyan right here. It's not going to be an enlargement. I can get rid of those two. That's a horrible X. I'm so sorry. But that's fine. Reduction because the scale factor is less than 1, or reduction because the scale factor is greater than 1. Reductions always have a scale factor less than 1. For me to be reducing, I need to be getting less, right? So green would be correct here. This one right here. All right, moving on. Let me get my face out of the way here. Put it up here. All right, pre-image versus image. Which statement do you think is correct about the dilation shown below? Take about 30 seconds. All right, so this one seemed to get bigger. Pre-image. So we started with. So from here to here, we definitely got bigger, which means that is an enlargement. So we're choosing between yellow and pink here. Enlargement is when a scale factor is greater than 1. Greater than 1. So that means yellow would be correct. Let me put a big old star by yellow. Okay. All right, what does it say here? If this figure was dilated by a scale factor of 0.5, which statement represents that dilation? So immediately, I'm looking at the word scale factor. And I notice that it says scale factor of 0.5. Take about 30 seconds to try to answer this one on your own. What do you think a scale factor of 0.5 would do to the image? All right, so pre-image, we got a zebra pig here. Yeah, any of y'all seen a zebra pig before? I'm just right there. Scale factor is 0.5. If I multiply times 0.5, my number's going to get smaller. Anything, when I multiply something times something less than 1, it's going to get smaller. So that means reduction would be correct. I'm choosing between green and teal here. Because the scale factor is less than 1, because the scale factor is greater than 1. Oh, I know that this number right here is less than 1. So that means green would be the correct answer. Reduction, because the scale factor is less than 1. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on, what did I do? There we go. If this figure was dilated by a scale factor of 2, okay, scale factor of 2. Go ahead and answer this one on your own, 30 seconds, then we'll talk about it. All right, scale factor of 2, aka we're making this image twice as big. We're multiplying it by 2, which means that we are having an enlargement happening. Okay, so we're choosing between. Let me switch my color up. We're choosing either between yellow or pink. Enlargement is when we multiply by something greater than 1. That means yellow is the correct answer. Okay, moving on to a scale factor of 0.7. Take about 30 seconds. Try to answer this one on your own. Which color do you think is correct? All right, scale factor is 0.7. If I multiply by a number less than 1, in this case 0.7 is less than 1, I'm going to have a reduction. So I'm choosing either between green or turquoise. Reduction because the scale factor is less than 1. Reduction because the scale factor is greater than 1. This number right here is less than 1. So green would be my correct answer there. Scale factor of this figure was dilated by a scale factor of 3.5. Go ahead and try to answer this one on your own. 30 seconds. All right, and 3.5, that's getting bigger for sure. If I multiply times 3.5, that is an enlargement. So I'm choosing between yellow or pink. And 3.5 definitely greater than 1. So yellow was the correct answer there. Okay, the figure was dilated by a scale factor shown below. Which statement represents the dilation? Hint, convert to a decimal. Okay, so everybody take your calculator. Check out our scale factor, 4/9. 4/9. Use that, convert it to a decimal, and figure out what kind of decimal it gives you. Take a quick second on that. All right, now we got 0.44 as our decimal. 44 repeating, right? Now, is that number greater than 1? No. Is it less than 1? Yes, it is less than 1. So I'm choosing between the answers that say less than 1 for sure. Can't be this. This says equal to 1. That's not it. This says greater than. This says greater than. And I know whenever it's less than 1 that it is a reduction. So green would be my correct answer here. Reduction because the scale factor is less than 1. Okay. Now, I think the easiest way to do this, guys, is by, if I can figure out this mouse real quick. I'm sorry. Hold on. Clear screen. There we go. Okay, so you can just look at the fraction. If the numerator is less than the denominator, like in this case, numerator is 4, that is less than 9, right? That means that you're going to have a reduction. This fraction right here is less than 1. Whenever you have a bigger number, let's say it was like 10 up here. If you had 10 over 9, whenever the number on top is bigger, that means you're going to have an enlargement because that number is greater than 1. So greater numerator would be enlargement. A numerator that's smaller would be a reduction. Okay, here we go. So this one, example, you can answer this on your screen. I'm just going to go over it. 7 over 5. Since 7 is our numerator and it's a larger number than 5, that's going to be an enlargement. An enlargement is when it is a scale factor of greater than 1. So yellow would be the correct answer here. All right. I've got 12 over 2. Go ahead and try to answer this one on your own. I'm not going to go over this one. Try to answer it on your own. I'll give you a few seconds. All right. How about this one? Same here. I'll give you a few quick seconds to answer this on your Chromebook individually, please. How about this one? Go ahead and try to answer this one individually on your Chromebook. I'll go over it in a quick second. All right, 12 over 12. What's 12 divided by 12? 12 divided by 12 is 1. 1. Boom. So, when I have a scale factor equal to 1, that is congruent. And I know we only went over that at the very beginning. That word congruent means the same. So the image, therefore, is not changing at all. Because if I multiply something times 1, that didn't change at all. Congruent would be the correct answer there. All right. We have made it. We are done with our lesson. You can go ahead and complete the Schoology assignment about dilation and scale factor on your own. This is our first day of our first unit of 2022. So let's get on to a good start. This is your first grade going into the grade book. So let's knock it out. Let's get 100 because I know you guys are all capable of getting 100. I do not want you to settle for anything less. You got 2 attempts. Okay. So no excuses. Everybody should have 100 to start. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow.